Right on the set, goddammit. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Mark Dodson.
Yum, yum. You're listening to Still Toking with.
This week, Ben, Jeff, and Leo are still toking with the amazingly talented Mark Christopher Lawrence. Mark is best known for his role as Big Mike on the NBC series Chuck, Tales from the Hood, and Terminator 2. He has made guest appearances on many television programs, most notably Heroes, My Name Is Earl, Crossing Jordan, Dharma and Greg and Malcolm in the Middle. Get ready for a kick-ass show shortly after these important messages.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
But thank you all for joining us. Thank you. It's been a lot of fun.
Do you have a hankering for horror knowledge?
We have such sights to show you.
Do you require raging retro reviews? Do you desire discussions with devastatingly dashing dorks? The Dorkening Podcast Network has nearly 30 shows to satisfy all of your nerdy, geeky, and dorky needs, from horror reviews and celebrity interviews.
Hi, I'm Adam Green, the director of the Hatchet films and the star of Paulson.
Hi, this is Dominic Pace, who played the bounty hunter Gecko from The Mandalorian.
Hi, I'm Mike Price. I'm a writer on The Simpsons. I co-created F is for Family.
Hi, guys. This is Dee Wallace from E.T. and Cujo.
Hi, my name is Kurando Mitsutake, director of Gun Woman and Karate Kill.
Hi, this is Samantha Newark, the voice of Jem and Jerica from the original Jem and the Holograms cartoon series.
As well as nostalgic trips into the past, pop culture, the latest in entertainment news, and so much more, featuring a variety of shows and hosts that will simultaneously enrage, enlighten, and entertain you. Check out the Dorkening Podcast Network.
My mom says I'm cool.
Available on iTunes, Spotify, thedorkening.com, and wherever fine podcasts can be found.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. We got an awesome show scheduled for you today on Still Toking With. And as always, we have Mr. Benjamin. How's it going, sir?
That's going good. It's going good.
Jeffrey.
Happy Wednesday. Since when is Wednesday happy?
It's since I
thought Friday was happy. It's happy.
Wednesday is happy because I can have a rum and Coke. So it's there we go.
It's hump day.
Yeah.
It's right? Cinco de Mayo. You can have two.
It is. It's Cinco de Mayo. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
I'll probably have two.
Do you have any tacos?
No, I did not. No, sorry.
No tacos?
Well, producing this show, I think you might need 3 or 4.
Yeah.
5.
I'm almost out of rum though, so that's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah. So Jeffrey, we have an awesome guest. Who do we have?
Yes, we do. We have a very special guest tonight. I'm excited to chat with this gentleman. I call him the man with 3 first names. Because I do. Well, if you break it down, you know. No. I will let Mark introduce himself. And hello, Mark. Welcome to the show.
What's happening, man? That is funny. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us.
So, I mean, don't you get it?
I love that intro. I love the intro of the show. That's a whole episode in itself.
Yeah. Leo did an amazing job with that. He took a bunch of our comic cells and mashed them all together, and I love it.
I just hit buttons. That's all I do.
Yeah, for once you hit the right ones.
I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna try my best to keep things on rail here, because we have Mark is awesome. You know, big.
Yeah, I mean, his credentials are just 30 plus years in the industry.
Oh yeah,
you know,
and he killed the guy with his comedy.
What?
It's a deadly.
I don't have that in my show
missed that. I missed
it's
that.
It's not
one
in the
too.
note. You had to watch his comedy segments.
You know, in my defense, he was resuscitated. There were 4 doctors in the house that night, so they were able to resuscitate him. But he woke up giggling.
Yeah. Well, that's a plus.
Yes.
So funny.
That's actually awesome.
Yeah, so funny. Right? He killed the man. Amazing.
Wow. Okay. I got a bunch of notes here, but I'm not going to read them because
I have a bunch of notes too.
I'm going to have too much fun with this guy. So, how did you end up with 3 first names?
I was born with 3 first names. I was born with my mother named me Mark Christopher Lawrence. That was it. I was just glad to get my father's name, Matt Clarence.
Oh boy.
Hold on, we got any EMTs around just in case I go down? It's going to be one of those shows, folks, I can tell you already.
Wow. All right.
Oh boy.
So you just got some really, really big news, Mark, on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Would you like to share that? Share that with us.
Sure. I did a little short film, I guess the summer of 2019, and it was submitted to the Emmy Awards, and I'm officially an Emmy-nominated actor.
That's awesome. Look at that. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Congratulations on that. Now, what category are you nominated in?
As an actor, it's the what do you call it? The regional Emmy. So it's broken down into talent.
Oh, okay.
Speaker or actor. So I'm actor.
Yeah, excellent. Just wanted to clarify that because I didn't understand.
But Emmy nonetheless.
Exactly.
But Emmy nonetheless.
I mean, when he said Emmy-nominated actor, the light bulb didn't go on. I mean, like, what happened?
The last award I got was for the Pinewood Derby.
Leo's shaking his head already. He's like, all right, yep. Oh, yeah. Let's see. What are we, 10 minutes in? Jeff's already took the train off the tracks, into the bridge. We're done.
So Mark.
Thank you, Leo.
You know, like Ben said, 30 years in the business, you've done some amazing roles. Where might people have seen you?
Oh, wait, that's not even nice, man. Because
that's not even a fair question.
I know, because he'll just sit here for the next hour.
This dude's everywhere.
You know, almost every sitcom in the 80s and 90s, you know, feature films like Terminator 2, Crimson Tide, Pursuit of Happiness, Fearless I Had. So it's a lot of. There's over 100 things on what do you call it, IMDb. But my career started before the internet was a thing. So there's more.
Oh, wow.
So you actually, I was reading in through your IMDb and your Wikipedia, and it said you actually got your first television role on Hill Street Blues.
Yeah.
That was my first audition. I go in and I see all these guys that I had been watching on TV for years, and it just made me relax. I was like, well, if they want Huggy Bear, clearly I'm not going to get a job. And I had an awesome audition. And before I got home, it was on the machine.
That's. I mean, I used to watch that show, so I'm kind of dating myself a little bit, but
it was it changed the way we watch TV.
Well, yeah,
it did.
Absolutely,
yep. Absolutely, yep.
All the Don's left the door. All the cop shows today are patterned after Hill Street Blues. So I'm glad to have been part of that sort of stepping stone or milestone in television.
A milestone in television, yeah, absolutely.
So that was your first platform that you could stand on, and then you can go from there any day.
Right. Well, then years later, I did Terminator 2, which changed the way we watch movies because of the special effects.
Right.
Yeah,
so
and I wanted to.
Another milestone.
Now, so you brought up Terminator 2 because I wanted to ask you a little bit about Terminator 2. I mean, I've watched that movie a couple of dozen times. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Okay. But what I get a kick out of is when you scroll through the Wikipedia and it talks about all the films and all the stuff you've been in. It's like Terminator 2. I don't know if this is correct, but it would be like Cop. And then it would be like the next show you were on, and it would be like third guy behind the deli counter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Terminator 2, I was burly attendant.
You were the burly attendant. The burly attendant, yes.
Here's the thing. I was supposed to work 2 days. When we got the deal, it was like, it's going to be 2 days, maybe 3, so we're going to book him for a week. So when I got so they gave me a raise on my daily rate. So then I got to Friday and I'm still there. I was kind of hot because had they booked me on a weekly rate, I would have been making more money because my weekly rate I was at scale, so I would have got a raise on scale. But then 6 weeks later, I'm still there.
6 weeks?
Yeah. James Cameron would say, "Mark, what would you say right here?" And I'd say something. He'd go, "Yeah, come with me." And he just kept putting me in. So it was fantastic. It was the most money at the time that I had ever made on a production.
Wow,
that's awesome.
No,
that's
The T2 had the budget,
Right, they certainly had a budget, but the thing was, I was coming out of a 3-month slump, where I was booking nothing, and I was seriously considering other industries, and then this came up. It's like I had read for it 2 months prior, didn't hear anything, and then I get the call that from the wardrobe designer called me, asked me for my sizes. So I called my agent, I said, "Hey, Terminator 2 is calling me, asking me for sizes." I said, "Yeah, we're on the phone with them now. Isn't it great?" I said, "Yeah."
Nice.
Wow.
So along with with it giving you a bump in your career and the money and everything, how was it working with James Cameron?
Fantastic. James Cameron is very meticulous. He's kind of like a performance art kind of director where he knows what he wants to see, and he's very, very meticulous about getting it. Like the scene where we're chasing Linda down the hall, the burly attendants are running after her. We started shooting that scene at about 3 a.m, and Linda was working out, 6 days a week, sometimes twice a day. And she's running down this hallway. James says at one point, "Hey, guys, I can get you to just be a little closer to her as she runs down the hall." And I said, "We're burly attendants. You got to slow her down."
Right.
And so he had a steady cam in that shot, and he had 3 other cameras set up. So he was shooting it from all kinds of angles to get what he wanted. And when you see the final product, it was like, "Oh, wow, that's really, really fantastic."
She was ripped.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ripped. And the sweetest person you want to meet.
I don't know, she kind of scared me a little bit in that role. So I don't know.
Well, if memory serves, is that the scene where the 2 Terminators meet for the first time?
Yes.
In the psych ward.
In the psych ward where he goes to the bars.
He comes to get her, right.
Yep.
Right.
And you have the first scene of the Terminator going through the bars, which blew my mind. That's the first time they ever did anything like that.
Now I can't remember. Did she grab you and throw you?
Arnold did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I wanted to do the stunt, and they wouldn't let me. The stunt coordinator said, "Hey, man, you can act." He said you shouldn't do stunts because it's high turnover, people get hurt. And then my guy, they put me on the floor. They bring me up about halfway, and then they bring in a catapult and put the stunt guy on the catapult. And so Arnold comes up and throws him into this window that has like these mesh sort of things on it. So that stuff was pliable and it had covered in rubber, and he didn't get his hands up fast enough, and his face had little waffle marks on it. And I was so glad they didn't let me do it.
The last thing you needed was to be waffled.
I'm gonna have to remember that. I'm gonna remember that. Speaking of
Bill's.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill.
Yeah, I won't do my own stunts from now on.
Well, no, you were on crutches for freaking 3 months.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, and you almost got taken out there, Jeff.
I had a concussion.
Yeah.
I know I did.
That's what happens when big, heavy things land on you.
You know. But if you're going to do it. That's how I see it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's one of those things. But, yeah. There was something I was just going to say.
I don't know. You guys went right into T2 on me, so I'm just letting you two roll with it.
Well, no, that's awesome. I did have a question because I don't know the answer to this. Wikipedia didn't really give me what I wanted to know. Planet of the Apes.
You can't go by Wikipedia. Wikipedia had me dead and 69 last year. I was 69 and dead.
Oh, dude.
Well, you look good for a dead guy.
You're a year younger than I am.
I think they thought I was James Avery.
James Avery?
Yeah, from it's like he's like 10
you don't
years
have
older
3
than
first
me
names?
3 feet taller than me.
So,
yeah.
Before I forget, I did have one quick question for you. Is Arnold really big?
At the time, he was scaling down. It was prior to his heart attack, but he's probably about 6'2", and but clearly, I mean, at the time he was still in really good shape. He was training a guy for Mr. Olympia at the time.
Okay,
and
all right.
He and Sven they had a trailer on set with weights, and this guy was from Austria, this tall dude. Lee Haney crushed the dude, and never heard from him again.
Okay. I was just curious.
Bill piped in and said apparently Wikipedia had him terminated.
Facebook user who does not like StreamYard, otherwise we would have your name, is saying, Mark, you have been in several horror films. If you were to recommend any horror film or films for someone they had to go see, what would you recommend?
Circus Kane.
Circus Kane. Nice choice.
Wow,
nice choice.
Yeah, it was fun to do. It's funny. It's tongue in cheek and kind of spooky.
Alrighty then. Yeah. Well, there's your answer, Facebook user.
And I don't know if you saw this other message. Hi, guys. I see you're causing trouble again tonight. John took your parking spot down at the studio. He's back.
What?
Yeah, I saw it. I ignored it. Just like I ignored John when we're at the studio.
John took our sign away?
It's okay.
My parking sign?
Okay. You'll be okay. Relax. It's okay. Back to the
John,
amazing guest.
You've got some falling down to do. Well, so I wanted to bring up, you won an award many, many years ago. Not that I'm trying to age you. It was for college. Do you remember that?
Oh, the Bavaro Tabor Award.
Yes, that. Tell us a little bit about
that. Most outstanding speaker in the nation. I was on the speech team at Cerritos College, and I went to the national tournament. I took 4 events. The tournament, won all 4, and had a judge from the University of Southern California in every round of every speech. And in my final round of speech to entertain, the head of the speech department was there. And after the award ceremony, he came up to me, gave me his card, and says, "Hey, I want to talk to you about going to USC. My name is Tom Hollahan. I run the program here, and I want to talk to you about it. So give me a call." I said, "Well, I can't afford to go to USC." He said, "Did I ask for any money?"
Mm-hmm.
And I ended at USC on a debate scholarship.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah. I was reading a little bit about that. It said you immerse yourself in forensics.
Yeah.
Now it's like
it's not like Quincy forensics.
Now Quincy, now you're dating yourself.
It's dissected speech basically, and that was my ticket out. I had a 10th grade teacher that got me involved in speech, and she put me in my first play. She introduced me to the guy who showed me how to set up a comedy act. And she literally changed my life. She gave me something else to do than hang out with the gangs in Compton.
Right, yeah, because we didn't even go all the way back to you growing up in Compton. There's a
movie on Netflix that I watched the other night called Them.
Okay.
And it's set in Compton, and I watched it, and it brought back some memories that I had repressed. When we moved to Compton, we moved there in 1969. We were the second black family on our street. And the only white family that would let their kids play with me were the people that lived right directly next door. Our driveways were right against each other. And every time I'd come out to play, all the other kids, their parents would make them come in the house.
That's
and I'd forgotten about that.
Wow.
It's like, which goes to my theory that which is probably more fact than theory, that racism is a learned behavior.
I'm going to agree with you on that.
Yeah,
it's definitely a learned
behavior. Kids don't care. Yep. That's another kid. Let's play.
No.
So, Leo, we have a little short trailer we can play.
Oh, jeez, hold on.
What?
Yeah, what are you trying to get him to play the trailer? What are you doing?
No. I'll
try to lighten up the podcast. It went dark.
No, it didn't go dark.
Bill Diamond says, "I see another chalk line in John's future," and get him. I'm assuming he's talking to Mark. We'll have a real actor on the show finally, and we can terminate you to sign him up.
Really, dude?
Wow.
Really?
So there's another. So I'm gonna have to play this teaser a little differently because the downloader I have is not working.
Oh, big surprise tonight.
So, what?
Nothing.
Jeez, and you're the one throwing work at me last minute.
See?
We gotta ask: is that a poster behind you, or is that an actual figurine?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's those are all actual. Yeah.
Toys.
Yeah. So it's
nice.
Yeah.
That's the real deal.
The real deal. Yeah. It was before they had the Black Series, but that's came out in like 2012. It's like the super large AT-AT.
Have you seen the documentary where they show how they created that particular thing?
I think so.
It moves like an elephant.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's basically what it is. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I think they had something like that when I was a kid. I went to Boston Museum of Science, and they had the IMAX there, and their IMAX is like the real IMAX, and it's like the straight down seats where you think you're gonna fall.
Oh yeah,
and they had you flying through the snow speeder, going through like the legs and everything. It was pretty cool, but that was a long time ago. I'm sure they had.
Well, I don't care who the guest is that we have on. We always end up dorkening to Star Wars somehow.
Well, because it's all behind Leo. It literally, I mean, I think he moved his office around so he could get a better view of this stuff.
Yes. Because I was going to say, it's a much better view. But where's Baby Yoda? Oh, there he is.
Yeah,
Baby Yoda's on the second shelf.
There's Baby Yodas there. You got Alf. You got a bunch of Baby Yodas.
Yeah, he's hiding the Baby Yodas because he doesn't want the wife to see how many more are actually on the shelf now.
No, she sees them. She sees them. When they come in, she makes a comment.
You did say Alf.
Yeah, there's Alf.
Really?
Yeah, Alf's right there on the shelf.
I see him.
That's an original one from the 80s.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, don't we have a trailer to play?
We do. So shh while it plays, because everybody can still hear you. So Mark, why don't you introduce this trailer?
So this is sort of a social commentary that we shot from conception to the end of principal photography. It was 48 hours before LA went into lockdown for COVID.
Awesome.
Well, okay.
Nice.
Wow. Okay, that looks enticing.
And we called in a lot of favors because we didn't have a lot of money, and we were able to get Diane Nicole. She is an Emmy winner, and was just fantastic. And all the other actors jumped in at the last minute. We shot it ultra low budget. Our cameraman was also the DP, and our director, Gerald Webb. It was his first thing, and it's really good. It's like it looks like a big budget film.
Yeah, from that teaser, it does.
Yeah, it does.
So we got a bunch of comments. Todd says, I thought he moved the stuff because yesterday was May 4th. No, I had it moved for a while. Bill
Go ahead.
Bill Diamond says, well, Leo needs to talk Star Wars because you two take up space on the show. At least we have Mark to listen to.
Bill, wow.
Bill is just off the top rope.
Well, that's a three. He's a 3-time Emmy Award winner.
Bill?
Yep, Bill Diamond. Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Bill, I'm going to bring my big stick Sunday.
Wow, huh? You missed one up before that.
I was about to get to that.
Okay.
Because it was a question related to the guest.
Then fire away to the guest.
I know. Mark, what was it like working with Rusty Cundiff? Fear of the Black Hat is a classic.
So Rusty is one of my best friends. We shot a short called The Trial of NWH before we shot Fear of the Black Hat. So it's always fun working with Rusty because he is the epitome of trust. He lets you do your thing. Like when we were shooting Fear of the Black Hat, he would come to work with a skeleton script. We have to say these words to move the story, but do what you do. And so Fear of the Black Hat is a lot of ad lib within that movie. And Rusty was just gracious enough to let us do our thing.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah. But yeah. So you've performed and worked with a lot of amazing people in this industry. But I'm going back because, like I said, I was reading your Wikipedia, and it said that you actually toured doing stand-up, opening up for acts like Jerry Steinfeld and Rodney Dangerfield.
That's a little misleading. That's why you can't go by Wikipedia.
I want to know if it's true.
So I worked with Jerry there used to be a club that I used to call the easiest club in America. It was the Laugh Stop in Newport Beach, and Jerry would come out and do a weekend, and I was one of the regular. This is early in my stand-up career. I was one of the regular hosts. So I opened for Jerry because I was hosting that club. I didn't actually go on tour with Jerry, but he liked me, so because I was clean. So he would always say, "Yo, is Mark going to be there hosting?" And they'd call me in. Rodney Dangerfield had a club in Vegas called Rodney's Place. And I worked there several times, and there was a showroom runner named Dutch. And he was sort of the last bastion of mafioso Vegas. The first time I worked there, he said, listen, you're doing 20 minutes. Not 21, certainly not 22. You want them out there gambling, not look at you. I was like, okay. So the next time I come to work, I'm opening for Jack Marion, who used to open for Lenny Bruce. And Rodney was embroiled in a lawsuit with Caesar's Palace, and he won. They were suing him, he was suing them, and he won. So that Saturday night, I come down to do the show, and Dutch says, hey, so Rodney is coming in tonight. I sent all those other hacks home. So you're going to open for Rodney, do 30 minutes, and then bring Rodney on. I said, okay, what do you want me to say about him? It's freaking Rodney Dangerfield. Just say his name.
Right? Well, pretty much.
So I do my 30. I bring Rodney on. And I come off stage, and Dutch says, you got a jacket? I said, no. I said, I don't have a jacket. He writes out an address and a phone number. He says, get over there and get a jacket and get back over here. I said, well, I'm not making enough money to go buy a jacket. And he goes, did anybody tell you to spend any money? Get over there. So I go there, and they're waiting for me. They fit me into a jacket, tailor it up real quick. I get back just before Rodney comes off stage. I go on, close the show, and come back, and then I hang out with Dutch and Rodney Dangerfield till the sun came up.
Oh, wow.
Epic night in Vegas, and I can't tell the story because I'll tell you this. When I got back to my room about 8 in the morning, I felt like I needed a bleach bath. Just a night of debauchery.
Wow, okay. I don't know if I should be happy or scared.
Facebook user says, hey, Mark, love the Dead concert poster in the background. Is that from the Worcester run of shows in 88?
I don't know. I got a bunch of them, so I don't know.
Too detailed a question, Facebook user.
Yeah.
I know, Facebook user.
But thank you.
Leo.
Yes, sir.
We're about midpoint. You want
Holy
to do your
crap.
commercials?
We're past midnight? Midnight.
Yeah, we're past midnight.
It's friggin'
maybe in Sweden, in the UK, where some of our viewers are, but not here.
It's friggin' Scorpipine again, so it's just...
it's Scorpipine.
Scorpipine. Yep.
Okay, so let me find the
Mark,
so you didn't have it ready.
What the fuck is a porcupine?
Last week I made my drink a little too strong, and I was trying to say scorpion, and I combined it with porcupine. So we had
Scorpipine.
Yeah, we had
Scorpipine.
Yeah. It's kind of like night hanging out with Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah.
You know, sounds like a sci-fi movie,
right?
Oh, exactly. Speaking of
Mark, what do you drink? Soda. Yeah, give him a soda and put something in it.
All right, Leo.
I can't imagine. That must have been so surreal and so awesome. Rodney Dangerfield. I mean, just...
Well, that's why I brought it up.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a legend.
Oh yeah. Did you know? I know this is totally off topic, and I need to play the trailer. Do you know? Do you know he had a heart attack while on? I think it was Letterman.
Really?
While he was actually on stage.
No,
and,
I did not know that.
Yeah, he cut his his bit short and walked right off, and he was having a heart attack.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, crazy stuff.
Joke's so funny he killed himself.
Exactly.
Right? See, now if I were him, I would have had the heart attack when I was filming back to school when you had to do the triple Lindy.
Yeah.
That's when I would have had the heart attack.
Okay. On that note, we still have tons of show left. This is an awesome show. Absolutely love it. But another thing I love is our sponsor, Deadly Grounds Coffee, a little mom and pop shop here in Connecticut. Make the absolute best coffee you'll ever have. Death by Chocolate is that's my crutch. I have it every morning, and it's just a hint of chocolate, but it kind of tastes like chocolate milk. It's just amazing.
All right, get on with it. Get on.
Chocolate coffee and chocolate milk.
Yeah.
What is it, Leo?
It's well, you put the cream in it and it tastes like, well, anyway, here's a zombie talking about coffee.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds Coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds Coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
And head on over to getdeadly.com. They have a s'mores flavor that's new. And also what's new is somebody sent me a trailer literally 2 minutes before we went live. And it's updated.
No. I sent it last night. I just forgot to tell you.
Okay, there we go. So Ben and Jeff have a new show out. It's awesome. Check it out right here.
If your world was turned upside down, what would you do?
What the fuck are we gonna do now? Get high?
It was more fun that way.
And Token with the Dead episode 1 is available on Vimeo right now. It's only $1.99 to check out, and there's a link in the show notes down below or above, depending on where you're watching or listening to us. How'd I do, Ben?
You did good, but that's the first time tonight that you've mentioned the show notes. So for our amazing guest, that's now I'm up here full screen. How am I supposed to point to the amazing guest if I'm full screen, Leo? Seriously.
Well, point. Go ahead, point.
See, now you got me all screwed up. I was good to go.
Wrong way. You don't even know.
Our amazing guest down here, he's in the show notes. Where, Leo?
Up above or down below, depending on where you're watching or listening to us.
Right.
Kirsten says, you guys cleaned up surprisingly well on Zoom.
What?
Not on Zoom. We use something else. But
we're on StreamYard because it's
better. We're not using Zoomy.
Yeah, Zoom's too glitchy.
No, Zoom's already taken by Mazda. Zoom.
Zoom.
What? Why?
Why?
Because you brought it in that way. Okay, back to the show, Leo.
Mark's like, what the hell is going on here?
Right now he's texting Steve Joyner, that is, and going,
I like to see the infighting.
He's like, really, guys? Really? What did you get me into now?
So let's try to bring it right back on track here. Let's talk about the show that led you to be at San Diego Comic-Con and ran for, I believe it was 7 seasons.
Oh, yeah, you went there.
Yeah. So you were Big Mike in my mind went blank.
Chuck.
Leo.
Yes.
Show notes.
I got show notes, and I also there's too many windows. How is it like working on Chuck and the future Shazam?
Chuck was fantastic. It was. I originally read for the role of Harry Tang and not Big Mike. Big Mike wasn't in the show at that point, and so after my audition, Josh Schwartz liked me a lot and created Big Mike for me.
Nice.
And when the show got picked up, we get a call that says, "Hey, they created this role for you, and Josh Schwartz loves you, so you're going to go and do this role." I was like, "Okay." And it wasn't a regular role, but I did every episode of the first season. And at about the halfway point, I said to my agent, I said, this is really a series regular role. And so the next season, they made a series regular.
Very cool.
They created a role. Really?
Well, they liked him.
Because I'm good at this, believe it or not.
They liked him, so they created a role. So, see, we should create a role for him, too.
There you go. You should. I think the thing that I liked most about Chuck was that, we were a large cast. It was, 10 series regular actors. And everybody got along, and it was a lot of fun to go to work. I remember, coming up, doing guest stars on different shows. And, for example, on Designing Women, I did a guest star on there. And the tension that was on that set was palpable. It was like, I said to Jack Taylor, I said, how do you work like this? He says, I just try to stay out of their way. It's like, so it was really refreshing to be on a set where there were that many sort of alpha personalities that, meshed. And it was great. There were no bad apples in the bunch.
Awesome. And if anybody's interested in getting into Chuck, I highly recommend it. It's streaming right now on Amazon. Amazon Prime, I believe you get all 7 seasons. You can definitely check it out.
Yes, 5 seasons.
Oh, 5 seasons. Why did I think 7?
Because you're drinking Bacardi.
Right. Yeah. I almost
couple more sips, it'll be 10 seasons.
I know.
So the 11 seasons that you were on, Chuck, how was that?
The sad thing is I almost finished a bottle, and it was a big bottle, too. It's just...
Really, you really have to prep to come on the show with us now, Leo.
Hey, so, I have a tough job. Like my day job is pretty tough. This is like vacation. This is like, time to unwind and enjoy myself with some awesome people. Yeah, it's definitely a switch from my day job, which is super stressful.
So, Mark,
Right?
You've done a number of guest appearances on a number of shows. What was your favorite?
Another loaded question.
Wow.
He can't pick a favorite. There's been too many so awesome shows.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
simple
tough.
question.
I mean,
You know what? Let's add to that. Your top 5.
Okay, top 5. O'Hara with Pat Morita.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
That was fun. It was really fun working with him. Wax on, wax off. Seinfeld. I did two episodes of Seinfeld, and it was fun working over there. Evening Shade with Burt Reynolds.
Oh, wow.
Wow, okay.
It was a lot of fun. There was a show that I was actually a series regular on that we only shot one season. It was the George Wendt Show.
Yep.
That was probably the most fun I ever had working. George is such a great guy to work with and generous to a fault. And hanging out with him was like just a ton of laughs all the time. He's just really a great guy. If you ever meet George, you'll see what I mean. And then Chuck definitely was fun. So that's probably my top 5.
Nice. I had a quick question about one of them, and this is just because I'm a dork. But so in Murphy Brown, you played Trekker. Is that a reference to Star Trek, or was that just an odd name?
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing.
I don't even remember what I did on that show.
Okay.
I remember the audition.
Yeah.
Because the director, who I can't remember his name right now, he had a curly fro. He was regular on the show or recurring on the show, but we had a common career experience. He worked for the San Francisco Mime Troupe, and that was my first job out of college. I went to San Francisco and did a summer show with San Francisco Mime Troupe. And so the audition was all about talking about the Mime Troupe, and I never actually read. And then he says, "What is this Fearful Black Hat?" And I said, "Oh, it's a little movie that we did. It's a rap Spinal Tap." And he said, "Oh," he says, "I have a friend, Penelope, that just directed a thing called CB4, and she called me crying, saying that she only had 2 scenes that worked." He says, "Then I went and watched it with her, and I was like, honey, you have no scenes that work." And so, Fearful Black Hat, in my opinion, is way better than CB4. But I don't remember. I have no idea what I did on that show. It was so long ago. I don't remember it.
Yeah, that was a while ago. Yeah, I was just curious because Trekker is normally a reference to
Star Trek.
What we used to call people that were Star Trek fans. Now they're Trekkies. There was a big war about that.
Yeah, not Trekkers. They're Trekkies.
See, now you're bringing up shows that are a little bit older that he doesn't remember. So I'm going to bring up one. How about Martin?
You got to remember, I have all this wisdom hair.
Do you remember working on Martin, or was that false information on IMDb too?
So that's false information on IMDb too. So what happened with Martin was I auditioned for the role. I get booked. It was a guest star. I get to set. They had written the role out, and nobody calls me. And Martin said, "Nobody called him?" And so because of the guest star, they still have to pay you. You still get credit, and you still get residuals.
Well, that's the best work ever.
That's the best work ever. And so I just hung out because Tommy Ford was one of my best friends. We went to college, we went to USC together. And so I just hung out and ate lunch and then went home.
And got paid.
Wow.
Well, what the fuck?
I know. I need a job like that too.
1999.
That happened twice. That happened on
twice.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Same thing. Part was written out. I get to work, and part, it's written out. And my car was broken down. I took the bus over there. They're like, "Here's some cab fare."
Wow. Okay. Well, no, I just had a question. 1999. Shake, Rattle, and Roll, or is that bullshit too?
Shake, Rattle, and Roll, I played the role of Fats Domino.
Yeah, you did.
And after the audition, I get a call, the director wants to shoot your hands, so we're going to hire you a piano teacher. Or, do you play piano? I said, no. So we're going to hire you a piano teacher so that your hands in the right place when we shoot your hands. I was like, okay. So they send me a piano, a weighted keys piano, and they hire a guy here in town in San Diego to teach me the song, You Made Me Cry When You Said Goodbye. Ain't that a shame? And so the guy teaches me the song. I probably pick it up in about 4 sessions, and then I'm practicing. And then as I started getting closer and closer to the time that I had to fly to North Carolina, I'd wake up in the night in a panic and just jump on the piano and play the song. And so one night I decided, okay, I'm going to start singing it now. So I'm playing it and I start singing, and my hands would not do what they were supposed to do. So I called the guy the next morning. He says, come on over. So I get over there. He says, this is what you got to do. He says, one phrase at a time. You made me cry when you said goodbye. He says, don't move on until you can say a phrase without looking. And that was the way I rehearsed for the next 3 weeks. And then I fly off to North Carolina to do it. They bring me in a week early to work with the guy who's over the production, the music side of the production. And I play the song for him. And he goes, oh, I don't need to see him anymore. So I got a week of just sitting around. But the bigger note of that movie was Delroy Lindo, who's a good friend, said to me, Mark, Shabaka said that you are doing Fats Domino. Is that right? I said, yeah. He says, have you seen the wig? I said, no, not yet. I said, I just went and had the fitting with the wig maker today. I took some pictures, but she had a black and white picture that doesn't really show you that it was Concoline. So I gave her colored pictures so that she could see what it really looked like, what his hair really looked like. And he says, don't get on that plane without seeing that wig. But I didn't listen. So I get to North Carolina, and the wig is just this nappy nest of hair. And right after I do my piano thing for the piano guy, I go into the hair and makeup, and he pulls this wig out of the box and went, what the hell is this? And I said, I gave her colored pictures. I said the picture that she had was a faxed picture that I think you faxed her. And I told her the hair was Concoline. So he had to wash the wig and then straighten it. And so by the time I got to set, it was right. Wow. But he was really hot that they paid all this money for this wig. And it was Cher's wig.
What's the matter, Jeff?
Wow. Okay.
I'm a little speechless right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I never thought I'd be talking about wigs, but okay.
You brought up the role.
You know.
Yeah, it's a little known fact.
Well, yeah. I can see why it's little known.
What the hell?
What the hell?
Well, the funny thing about it is that the note to not get on the plane came from Delroy, because he was in a movie called Blood In, Blood Out. And if you saw his wig in that movie, you'd understand his concern.
Congratulations, Kelly.
Yeah. So for the podcast listeners, she says, Kelly Roy says, hi guys, P.S. I was approved for my hemp license today. Woody woot.
Woody woot. Woody woot. You even read that right. I would have just been woot woot.
Hey, that's my job. Somebody got to do things right around here.
I don't know, Mark. Sometimes I wish I could just feed these 2 lunch and send them home too.
Well, obviously Bill has us replaced, so.
Hey, it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
Okay.
So
what's next, Mark? What's next? What do you got going next?
He's texting. Leave him alone.
I may be doing a film with Pureflix. I got a message from David A.R. White that he had something for me, so we're just kind of waiting to see what happens with that. If it happens, it'll be like in July. Usually, back in the day when there weren't as many outlets for work, because there's so many now. If you weren't in a movie by May, you were sitting around all summer. And luckily, things have shifted so that work is happening kind of all the time. So hopefully that's happening. I'm producing a sizzle reel for a show that I want to get done. Originally, we thought, let's do this as a web series. And the more I thought about it, it was like, the more we looked at the script, I was like, this could actually be a show. So let's shoot a sizzle, make it good. Worst case scenario, we go back to the original idea and make it a web series.
Right.
So, so I'm just going to raise about 10 grand to shoot the sizzle. And whoever ponies up half the dough, I'll make them a creator on it. So there you go.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Yes, you
heard it here first.
Yes.
Yeah,
Send me a check and let's go to work.
Kelly says Leo's sound effects are on point today. He's on fire. See, I read that right too.
Really? Are you just bringing up comments now so you can tell us that you can read? This is like hooked on phonics work for Leo.
I'm trying to be polite with the people that are watching and listening.
Oh, I know. I'm just giving you a hard time because that's what I do.
Okay.
So Mark, Halloween 2. Were you in
with
Halloween?
Rob Zombie?
Yes.
Yeah, I did the first one, and which was a great experience. Rob didn't write the scene. He said, look, this is what happens. He goes into the room. He kills somebody in there. Then he comes in here, and he's gonna come through this office and kill you, and then go out your window to get out to the outside world. And he just let me ramble. So I'm doing this monologue that I'm making up on the spot. And each take, he'd come back and say, hey, during that take, you said this, 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 and this. Keep the other stuff and then make sure you say this part again. Okay, so we did about 10 takes of me just rambling until it got to where he wanted it, and he had it all written out. He goes, okay, read this whole thing. So I read, I'm like, okay, now go back and we're going to shoot it 2 or 3 more times, but say all this. I was like, okay. So we do it, and we're running out of time for the night, because they don't want to go overtime at all. And the guy playing Mike Myers doesn't kill me. He comes out of the bathroom and just kicks the front door down and walks out. And so I get a call from Rob Zombie during their post-production. He says, Mark, I want you to know that I had to cut you out because I was looking for something to, move the story faster. And it's not your acting. He says, but because he didn't kill you, I can't really use the shot. But don't worry, I'll get you in the next one. And so, I'd heard that a few times in my career. We'll hire you again, and nothing ever came of it. And sure enough, we get a call. Rob Zombie wants you in the next. I was producing a comedy show in Napa Valley at the Lincoln Theater there. And I get a call, you're going to fly on Sunday. And I had spent like all this money for the show. I was like, nope, can't fly on Sunday. I can fly Monday. And so I fly out Monday from Napa with only a weekend's worth of clothes.
Oh, wow.
that at this point needed to be washed. So I get to Atlanta and go through wardrobe and all that stuff. And then the next night I'm supposed to go to work. And I get outside, and wardrobe says, it's probably going to be hot because this is like May 1st. So let's not give you a hat so you're not sweating the whole time. And so we start shooting. It's about 11 o'clock at night, and I feel something wet on my head. And I look up, and it's snowing.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a bird shit on you.
Snowing at 11 p.m. May 1st, and I end up staying there for 3 weeks. With a weekend worth of clothes because it snowed for 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Wardrobe!
Life of an actor, folks.
Right. Hey, can I just borrow these from Wardrobe for a couple of days, please?
But it was fun working with Rob. Rob had fantastic stories. The funniest one was Jada Pinkett Smith had a metal band, and it's when her kids were really little. And he says that she would open for him, and she'd show up. He says she'd have on her little trench coat, and she got her little kids in tow, and she'd go to her dressing room and then come out, to do the show, and she'd be all, blacked out and he said, and I just sit there and go, Wow, what a transformation!
Makes you wonder what happens in those dressing rooms.
Yeah. Makes you wonder.
Oh man!
Wow. All right.
You okay over there, Jeff?
Yeah. No, I'm good. Scary thoughts. There's some scary thoughts.
So I saw you were not only writer, producer, and also editor. Shout, an evening of gospel comedy.
Co-editor.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, I do a lot of my comedy at churches, so I can go squeaky clean.
At churches?
And yeah,
Really? Okay.
yeah. And churches, I'd rather work there just because people aren't drunk. You don't get the drunk guy trying to talk to you while you're trying to work. You get a kid to talk to you, and then you just threaten to take your belt off, and they shut up. But people just they come to laugh. So it's like no pressure. Just come and have fun, and I'd much rather work that way. I like working clubs, because of challenge, but I'd rather just do churches all the time.
Nice.
Wow. Very.
I didn't know churches had comedy hour.
Yeah, churches have a lot of.
I just didn't know that. I apologize. I didn't know that. But
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that. Interesting.
I did church a few weeks ago. It was the first hour set that I did since the pandemic and all the lockdowns and everything. And I felt rusty, but they didn't know. But I couldn't figure out my timing, So I'm on stage and when I look at my watch, and I have this ruby watch. It's like the band and everything. It's all glittery. And I looked down to see what time it was, and I couldn't see the hands because the light was shining. And I was like, "How long have I been up here?" And they go, "Keep going." So I keep going, and finally I close, and I get off stage. I did an hour and 26 minutes.
Oh wow!
And I look at my outline. I write an outline before every show, and I missed 2 whole sections in my outline, so I could probably do an hour 45 church clean.
Nice.
Wow.
So if any pastors are out there, I'm your guy.
Church clean.
Wow, that's impressive. I could never do anything at a church.
You can't even be clean.
I got married in a church.
That's a start. That's a start.
Yeah. It's so a lot of people don't know. A friend of mine's a pastor, and he showed me like their AV system and everything, and they're like normally decked out. So they can do pretty much any event. That's why I was going to ask. Editing? Did you edit on their equipment or your own equipment?
No. So I shot Shout at the Lyceum Theater in San Diego, and we had shot 2 cameras straight forward, 2 mid-house on the wings, a jib, and a handheld. And so basically my cut was after my director's first cut, then I went through and cut based on time codes. I want this out, this out, this out, this out, this out. And so that was my cut.
Okay, nice. So were you like directing the cuts, or you did the cuts? And
basically I watched the footage and I go to the time codes and say, give me a cut from an hour and 10 to an hour and 25 or whatever.
Gotcha.
And just send him my list. And
very cool.
I didn't physically sit in the room with him.
Okay.
He directed it.
Yeah.
He directed the editing.
Yeah.
The other question I have: what the heck is Chronicles of Rickroll?
It was the project that never happened.
Okay.
It was great on paper. I was approached by an old publicist that said, "Hey, we have this project that we're representing, and we'd love you to be in it," and blah 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 blah. And they never got it off the ground.
Wow.
And part of it was their budget was too big. It's like they wanted $60 million for a project. I was like, nobody's going to give you $60 million to shoot this thing off your, And basically, it was internet stars meet scripted material. So they built in internet stars into the script so that they would gain that following. But that didn't necessarily work because Chuck used a lot of names, hoping to grab people from the followings of those stars, and it didn't translate into butts in the seats.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to translate to butts in the seats.
Yep, exactly.
You never know.
You never know.
You know, who knew that Mike, killing a dude with a jokes bit would be 19 million views at this point?
Right. It's true.
And when I watched it now, I realized that was only the third time I put it on stage when I put it in that special. And it's so much better now than it is in the special. It's like the bit now is like, it's grown and it's complete. And when I'm watching it, it's like, oh man, it was brand new.
I'd ask Leo to play it, but he doesn't have it queued up.
Give me a minute. I could probably find it.
Yeah, Leo. Yeah,
I'm watching it. I'm watching the clock, Leo. Go ahead. It's on YouTube.
Jeez.
57, 58, 59. All right, you're already 20 seconds in. How good is Leo, folks?
Mr. Wizard.
No pressure. No pressure. No pressure.
Live from the Madhouse.
Now, where are you guys located?
Jeff and I are south of Boston. Leo is down in Connecticut.
Oh, Boston. Is De Parma still there? The little Italian restaurant it's on the street where the big church, the Paul Revere Church is. It was this Italian spot that's not it.
That's not it?
No, that's my VR comedy special.
Ah.
On Oculus, it's the only comedy on Oculus. Just look for Dry Bar Mark Christopher Lawrence Killer Jokes. But De Parma is like this Italian restaurant. These Greek guys came out of New Haven and opened it up, and it's really, really good. And went there years ago, and six of us, with entrees and antipasto and wine and dessert, and it was like $103. I was in California.
I killed a guy that night
and a salad.
Wow, that's not a bad price. I mean, we were just up in Boston I was with my family on Sunday. There was 5 of us. We ate at Strega. The food was good. It was for my daughter's birthday, but it was like $400 and something.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't paying for it. Her boyfriend paid. I was like, yeah.
There you go. He's a keeper. He's a keeper.
Not my fault.
Wait to see what he does. Wait to see what he does for you for Father's Day before we decide.
Right.
I have it queued up here.
Oh yeah, that's it.
I killed a guy that night with jokes. I like going to church. I like sitting in the same section because I sit behind a guy in my section who sings every song wrong. And it's hilarious. Oh, maize and grapes. Somebody hand him a hymnal. Before we get started, let me just say this. A couple of months ago, I was doing a charity event in La Jolla, California, Southern California, a big, ritzy party thing at a mansion, and preface that by saying everything in my act that I tell you that's a story in my act is probably a true story that actually happened to me, and I embellish it to make it funnier. But most of the stories are true stories. And so this particular night, I'm at this charity event, and I'm about 14 minutes into my hour set. And the host comes up, and he's saying, "I'm sorry, Mark," and he's reaching for the mic. So immediately I'm running through my head, did I say something that was off color for the charity? And then he says, "Is there a doctor in the house?" There happened to be 4 doctors in the house that night. One of them was the head ER doctor in San Diego. I killed a guy that night with jokes. If you had to die somewhere that night, that event was the place to be. Because they brought him back and he woke up giggling. I killed him, my jokes brought him back. So what I'm trying to say to you here tonight is this. If you know you have a problem with the ticker. I can't be responsible for your health. Just getting that out there. And I was the only black guy in the room. Apparently, again.
Wow.
So my mind started racing. You know, what if the police would have came and said, what happened to him? Who killed him? Everybody in the room would have went. And now I gotta have a standoff with the police. 3 guys walking to a bar. Officer. Then I end up in a cell with Bubba. Bubba's looking at me, so what you in for? I killed the dude, Bubba. With a joke. Knock, knock, Bubba. Are we clear?
Oh my, that's
it's
hilarious.
way better now.
That was hysterical, dude.
That was good. I like that. That was good. Oh, sorry.
Wow. Okay.
You know, one thing we didn't even touch on, and I know we're running a little close here, but you also do theater work. Did I read that right?
Yeah, I tend to do very dramatic plays because it feeds that beast. I think I'm a better dramatic actor than I'm a comedic actor because I work harder at the dramatic stuff because you got to dig around in ugliness to get to where you need to be emotionally. And as a comic, because I'm always doing it, it comes a little easier. I think 2012, I was San Diego Critics Circle Outstanding Actor of the Year. So I basically did 2 plays that year that were dramatic plays. I did A Raising the Sun and A Top Dog Underdog, which are both very dramatic plays.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love theater. Too bad it doesn't pay.
Right?
I end up paying to play. By the time I get through giving away tickets. Oh, hey, Bill.
Yeah, Bill's calling Jeff.
Yeah, I'm not going to answer him.
Nope.
He knows you're doing a show. Why is he calling?
Because it's Bill.
Yeah, it's Bill. Just to give you, I don't know if you're familiar with Bill Diamond, Mark, but Bill worked for Jim Henson.
Oh, okay.
So Sesame Street, The Muppets. He's done numerous other things. Things.
Dark Crystal.
Gremlins. Things along those lines. Like I said earlier, he's a 3-time Emmy Award-winning producer, director, set builder. But he's who.
Did you say set builder?
Oh yeah, he builds his own sets. He won an Emmy for Buzz in the Bronx.
Oh wow.
So that was his set design and stuff. Yeah. He's actually the gentleman that we're working with on our project down in New York. So
listen, if you need an actor.
Apparently we do, because we can't act. I mean,
are you cheap?
I was gonna say, do you work for lunch? We'll give you.
I'm cheap, but I'm easy.
Okay, I can buy hot dogs.
Can we go to Chicago to get them?
Actually,
that's a push. But
no, actually, we have 2 people flying in from Chicago. We'll just have them bring them.
Actually, have them stop at Green Street Smoked Meats and bring that smoked pastrami.
That's a deal.
You'll thank me later.
Actually, if you want smoked, what's that? He moved into Worcester. That barbecue place.
What?
I don't know.
My brain.
Barbecue?
Yeah, there's an amazing barbecue place by you guys. I drive like 3 hours up there just to go there.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it's what the hell is it?
I don't know. When you figure it out, let me know.
I will.
I'll go there.
Matter of fact, Ramsey was filming close to there, and somebody brought him lunch, and he loved it so much he said, "Go there and bring me one of everything."
Wow!
And yeah. Let's see.
You don't have to Google it, Leo. It's okay.
Yeah.
So, Leo, you're in Connecticut. What part of Connecticut?
Over near Mystic. The southeast.
How far are you from East Orange?
About an hour.
Go to Baja's Mexican restaurant.
That sounds familiar. I'll make a note.
That's the spot.
I'm going to write that down because we travel to Connecticut once a month.
Yeah, and you
Baja's is the spot.
Baja's.
And you guys go through Orange. That's closer to New Haven, I believe.
Yeah, it's close to New Haven.
Yep. You ever do New Haven pizza? Like Pepe's?
I've eaten probably 20 slices of pizza since 1988.
Oh wow!
In college, I just it was you buy 2 large for $5. I stick them in the freezer, and I ate so much pizza I started hating pizza.
Really?
And now it has to be like the best pizza in the world for me to go eat it.
But we are getting close on time because I know, Leo, you got another show to do tonight.
I do.
Yeah, I'd like to eat.
Yeah, you'll live. So when Leo
these youngsters, Jeff, these youngsters.
I know. See,
when Leo closes up the show, Mark, if you don't mind just hanging out for a couple of seconds.
Yes.
So Leo, do your thing.
Okay, I want to thank everybody for watching this fine evening. This has been a blast. I got a bunch of information about Mark in the show notes. Make sure you go check it out, and also all the guys here at Still Toking With, including their episode 1. For me, just Google Leo Pond. You'll find a bunch of stuff. Could be true, could be not. I'm not going to say which is which. But more importantly, I run a little thing called the Dorkening Podcast Network. We're actually going to do another show in about half an hour, and celebrating Star Wars tonight because yesterday was May the 4th. We did a Star Wars show yesterday too on Comics Center. It's just been a blast. But yeah, Google me. You'll find a bunch of stuff, and head on over to thedorkening.com. Mark, where do you like people interacting with you on social media?
Instagram is probably where I talk to people most. But generally, go to the website, markchristopherlawrence.com, and all of my buttons are there on the website.
Awesome.
For all my social media.
Sounds good. And again, you can find all those in
buttons?
The show notes.
Really?
Buttons, yeah.
They're links. Buttons.
Well, it's a button. It's or a CTA.
A CTA.
Yeah.
What the hell's a CTA?
Click to action. or call to action. Call to action.
Okay. We're learning stuff.
I could really go down a rabbit hole right now, but I'm not going to do that. Stilltoking.com. Just go to stilltoking.com. You want to reach us, go to there. Facebook blows. It's getting worse. Just go to stilltoking.com.
Yeah. I got gripes about Facebook. Benjamin?
You're not alone.
Wow. Yeah. So we want to thank our amazing guest as always. Check them out in the show notes, up above, down below, on the side, wherever you're watching or listening to us. Like Jeff said, stilltoking.com. We're on every social media platform out there. You can find us if you want to. To all our veterans and first responders, we want to thank you for doing what you do every day so people like us can come up here and do what we do every day. We'll see you next week. We're out of here. Stay safe.
Bye.